if somebody is watching this right at the start of their investing journey, say 25, just started earning for the last 1 year, is it a right time to reach out to an RIA? And if not, why not?
It depends on what the kind of job you're doing. For example, if there's somebody who's just graduated from a top MBA school and just started working, they're not going to have any time at all. They're going to be working 16, 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
They're not going to have weekends, nothing. For them, selecting an RIA is probably the best investment they could ever make. They can outsource it. They just need to do what they tell you and it's done. But for somebody who's starting out with not that big a salary, I would say first of all, they would be not so inclined to pay a fee which is equal to their salary. Many of the fees, 15,000, even 15,000, for a guy earning 30, 40,000, 15,000 is a big money.
Yeah.
Although it's one per year, they would still hesitate. So I would say that's fine. It's fine to hesitate, but don't make mistakes. Don't buy products just for saving tax without taking the time to do a proper financial planning. There are many resources available to do proper financial planning today.
To push you on that a little bit, on when you're selecting it, is there any other criteria? Like, of course, it's the price and what you're comfortable paying. But is there any kind of rating of an RIA? Is there any track record of an RIA? Is there any information that will help me decide which RIA to go with? Or is it literally, I speak to 10, I hit it off with one, and it's literally a human-to-human relation. And then, but what if that's not the best person? That's my...
Yeah, that is a problem. See, there are many things. First of all, let's take doctors, right? I have an issue and I want to go to a specialist. I don't know the specialist. Maybe my family physician recommends, then I won't ask questions. But if I don't know, if there's no such recommendation, I can go and ask a couple of people who had similar issues and ask them, have they been cured or are their conditions manageable? So we have a success rate. We look for the success rate of the doctor and go to the doctor. But in the case of financial planning, particularly for long-term goals, you can't define a success rate because my retirement is 25 years away from now. And I want to start the relationship with the financial planner today. I can only tell you if I'm successful 25 years later. All I can tell you is, do I feel comfortable? Do I feel happy that my finances are in a better place after having met the guy and started the relationship? That is all I can tell you. But the problem is again with like Amazon reviews. If you go to Amazon reviews, there'll be like 4 or 5 good reviews, 5-star reviews, 4-star reviews. That one guy would say terrible product or terrible book and give 1 star. And it would make no sense. Whatever he's saying would be so irrelevant. But many people will click, I find this helpful. The guy who says the product is wrong is assumed to be speaking the truth in today's world.
Who are these people saying I found this helpful and based on what?
I don't know. You look at any product. If there are 100 reviews saying the product is good, there's one review that says the product is bad. People will click, I found that review helpful. Because they think that guy is speaking the truth. So it's, that's how it is. So these reviews should be taken with a big pinch of salt. It's very contextual. It's very personalized. They found it helpful. That doesn't mean we will. So I would say, yes, as a person running a business, what would I do? I would open a Trustpilot kind of account, or I would open a Google My Business account, and I would get my best clients to go and write reviews there. That's what I would do. Of course, some people would write less than 5-star reviews and so on, but that's fine. You're going to get it. And I can use that to showcase my business and sell more product, just like all these marketing people do. They sell their courses, they have this one page web page and so on, but that's not reliable. I would say whether it's a good review or a bad review, it's not reliable. You will have to go and talk to the financial planner. In fact, I will show you some results later on. So the question I get is, once we talk about all these players and once I say go to a SEBI RIA, do you have somebody who you can recommend?
Yeah.
That's the most common question I get. And I noticed this problem in the industry long before the SEBI RIA regulations came up. The RIA regulations came up in 2013. And a few months before that, I started curating a list of financial advisors. So these are advisors who charge only a flat fee. And they'll work only for you, no conflict of interest. And this list is more than 10 years old now, obviously. And as on today, as of today, there are 16 people in that list.
And these are people you know very well and one-on-one relationships, etc.
Yes, I have interacted with them. I'll talk about how. So there are more than 1,000 clients from the Free FinCal community should be there. In fact, every year or so, we take a survey, and I'll show you some survey results. We also, in September 2017, a few of these advisors and myself and my friend Ashal Jowhari, who runs Facebook group Asan Ideas for Wealth, launched a kind of an organization, which is of course not formal, called Fee Only India, an informal organization. It's called Fee Only India, and it's got a website, you can search for it and so on. There are 23 advisors in that list, and all of them are flat fee advisors.
Got it.
Again, no commissions, no AUM based thing, no conflicts of interest.
At various fees, I'm assuming, based on experience.
The fees are different.
Yeah.
The fees are different. But you will have to go and talk to them. And so I have this year's survey results, which we can look at and where we can talk about the factors for choosing an advisor.
Pattu's put together a presentation of sorts to show you very valuable data, and I'm about to share it. But before that, Pattu, if you don't mind, I had a question, right? Ever since it's been 3 or 4 episodes when we started talking about RIAs, I've been telling everyone in my family and friends, you must go to a SEBI registered RIA. And then I realized I don't really know what it means to be SEBI registered. What is the process about? Is it rigorous? What does it take to become SEBI registered, etc. as an RIA?
These rules keep changing, and if my memory serves me right, you need 5 years of experience in the financial services industry.
Okay.
And you need a postgraduate degree related to finance. That is my understanding. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding as well.
And then are you monitored regularly by SEBI? Is there any kind of...
You are monitored too much.
Oh, wow.
Way too much. The SEBI over-regulates these advisors.
Okay.
But yes, so, and there is a portal where you can, so if in case I don't like the relationship, I have a complaint, you can go to a portal and complain about these advisors. It's called SEBI Scores portal and so on. So there's a way to regulate these entities, but still it is our wavelength matching with matters more.
All right, cool. On that note, let me try and share it.
Yeah, so we asked several questions in the client survey, and one of the most interesting questions was, what is the most important factor in choosing a financial advisor, the fee-only advisor? We call them fee-only advisors. And we asked 2 questions. The first question was, what are the factors that help you finalize your decision? So these are all clients, right? So they're currently working. And so if you look at this, you have advisors' qualifications, educations, advisors' experience, the fees, advisors' articles, social media posts, recommendation by friends, recommendation on social media, recommendation by Ashal Jowhari, who is very influential in the Facebook group Asan Ideas of Wealth. Whether the advisor actually spoke in your mother tongue.
That
for some
would be
people
key.
That could be important. And whether the advisor lives in your city, and whether you like the introductory call with the advisor, and an idea suggested by my friend Swapnil Kande, who is also an RIA, whether my expectations matched with the style of the advisor.
Fair enough.
Right? And so if in the next slide we have the results.
Sure. Pattu, are RIAs full-time? Are they doing this full-time, or is there scope for them to be part-time RIAs?
SEBI makes it clear that you cannot be part-time.
Got it. All right.
So if you look at this, we said you can choose as many as factors which are relevant. And if you look at this, the highest is the experience. That's 62%. And the next highest is my expectations matching with the style of the, that's 43, the last entry.
That's so interesting. What does it really mean, style of the RIA?
Every advisor has a style. Some people say I will only recommend index funds. Some people will say we can beat the market. I will select active funds. Some people will say I will do tactical asset allocation. I will try and time the market. Some people will say I'm a big believer in international equity. So 25-30% of my portfolio will be in international equity. Some people will say I'm a big believer in gold, and so on and so on. So that's what I mean by style. And you can come to know about the style in two ways. One, your website, that is the advisor's website, should be crystal clear, right? It should, when I go there as somebody who doesn't know anything, when I come out, I should know what the service actually is all about. And also about the articles they write, the tweets they put in, and so on. And if you look at it, the fees only is about 37%. So fees is important, but not that important. The advisor's articles, 34.5%. The introductory call is 36%. The introductory call, whether that actually helped. And if you
imagine
look at
the pressure on the RIA for that first call.
Yeah, but they're okay. They get used to it. They know what will be asked, and they know when to reject a client. As an RIA, they get used to it. They know.
You mean that happens as well? They reject clients.
Is only 7%. Many clients. Because they'll come and say, I want 4% return over the market every year. And they will say, you must give me a report every week. It's a time-based business, right? You can't be servicing one client all through. It won't work. So clients are regularly rejected. It happens all the time. So advisor living in my city is only 7%. It's not a key point. So fee-only advisory is an online business. Primarily, people today are so comfortable. Maybe it's because of Corona,
absolutely,
the lockdown.
100%.
Yeah, people are comfortable with Zoom meetings, and advisor spoke in my mother tongue is only about 13%. That's not important either. So most people can speak, at least they can speak English. That's what I assume. That's why it's so.
It's probably a reflection of the type of people reaching out to RIAs and their, education level. I'm sure this will matter a lot once you go into the mass, which also was a question at the back of my mind, but we'll probably shelve it for now.
It won't work as a mass product. It won't work because the advisors, they can't work. See, you as an advisor, you want to work with a client who is intelligent.
Yeah.
Who can quickly grasp what you're saying. You don't want a client who is, who calls you every day and say, oh, market has gone down 2% today. Market has gone down 4% today. Oil prices are moving. What happens? War in Israel. So what will happen to stock market? You don't want that kind of people. Most of the people in the mass segment, as we call them, they are not good enough to deserve proper financial advisory. They don't want to be. That's the problem. They want to stay in that way. There are so many intelligent resources where they can read and change, but they don't want to. They want easy stuff that it won't work for them. So that's about it. And the next question was, if you had to choose one option from among these, what would be the most important aspect for choosing an advisor? And if you look at this, fees is the blue line, the blue slice.
Very minor, yeah.
It's minor. People don't care about the fees. The big thing is the 28% is my expectation,
Experience.
experience, my expectations matching with the style of the advisor. That is the key point. Of course, the recommendations also matter. That's fine. That's natural, right? I mean, if you many people in a social media forum are going to say X is a good advisor, people are going to consult with him. So it's a I would say this business is in a very good place, and people who want to become RAs, who are watching this and want to become RAs, they can seriously consider flat fee advisory, provided they have the competence to display. I mean, there's one thing having competence, but that you also need the competence to properly display it, which I find many advisors don't have. They don't know how to write articles or create content. They if you ask them pointed questions, they will answer. But you have to bring it out to the world, right? So it's possible.
So interesting.
Yeah.
How in different spheres content becomes so important, right? All right. Pattu, thank you so much for all this information, taking the trouble to even create that. So if you want to become an RIA, make sure you're ready to become a full-time RIA. Firstly, you have 5 years experience. You're a good communicator. Of course, how does one communicate your experience, Pattu? How does one convince somebody that I'm the experienced person over the one who's just starting out?
Say the truth. Say the truth. I mean, actually, clients like when take my students for example. I regularly tell my students that I don't know how this piece of physics works. They respect me more for that. Instead of trying to be wishy-washy about it and say that's how it is and so on. If you go out there and say this is it, this is my the circle of competence, and this is all I know, I can try and find out and help you. So if you do that as an advisor, if you're really truthful, and so many people say, oh, I've been investing in the markets for 20 years, I've made this much money, that much money, that puts off people. It attracts some people, I definitely agree, but it may attract the wrong kind of people. If you want to attract the right kind of people, see, you want your clients to make you a better advisor. That's the only way you can sustain in this business, right? You want your clients should push you to becoming a better advisor, a better version of yourselves. That's possible only when you choose intelligent clients, right? So that's important.
Last 2 questions, Pattu. If somebody is watching this right at the start of their investing journey, say 25, just started earning for the last 1 year, is it a right time to reach out to an RIA? And if not, why not?
It depends. See, it depends on what the kind of job you're doing. For example, if there's somebody who's just graduated from a top MBA school and just started working, they're not going to have any time at all. They're going to be working 16, 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
They're not going to have weekends, nothing. For them, selecting an RIA is probably the best investment they could ever make. They can outsource it. They just need to do what they tell you and it's done. But for somebody who is starting out with not that big a salary, I would say first of all, they would be not so inclined to pay a fee which is equal to their salary. Many of the fees, 15,000, even 15,000, for a guy earning 30, 40,000, 15,000 is a big money.
Yeah.
Although it's one per year, they would still hesitate. So I would say that's fine. It's fine to hesitate, but don't make mistakes. Don't buy products just for saving tax without taking the time to do a proper financial planning. There are many resources available to do proper financial planning today. Read and then invest. You can take a 6-month time to wait and invest. Then you can avoid mistakes. If you are in a hurry, you're going to clutter your portfolio, then you definitely are going to read an RIA after 2-3 years. So
yeah. And fun episodes coming up as well, because Pattu's putting us in touch with some very interesting RIAs who will be on our show. We'll ask them about their experience and their perspectives. And I'm very curious to know their experiences because, how does one convince a stranger, and that's exactly what new clients are, to reveal their darkest secrets, their financial, you know, every single detail? Because without every single detail, you can't make a plan for them, right, Pattu? But yeah, so fun stuff coming up on this show. And last question, Pattu. I know the answer is very clear. You love your job. You love teaching physics. But perhaps at retirement, have you ever thought of becoming an RIA? Or you just want to put your feet up and daydream?
I'm not good with people. I'm not a people
Mm.
person. I mean, I rarely use my phone. My phone is just for SMSs. I don't talk to people. I mean, I like getting up on stage and talking, but no, that's not my cup of tea.
All you listeners, let us know what you feel and how you react to that statement by Pattu in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe this episode or these two episodes. We're still contemplating. Perhaps Pattu, we can break it up into two because we've already crossed 45 minutes. But yes, lovely recording with you, Pattu. Thank you so much. And any last words before we call it a close on this entire landscape of professional help for financial planning?
Uh, yeah, so be careful. Caveat emptor. Always be careful. Whether it is DIY or choosing an advert. Be ask yourself what's in it for them. When they somebody is so strongly suggesting some product or some method, there's always a catch, and you will have to be wary about it. And awareness matters. Awareness is key to success.
And there'll always be Pattu people who say, even at the end of these two episodes, they'll keep saying, look, I just want somebody to do it for me. And, there's a huge market for that anyway. And if you've got a system that works, then stick to it. You're happy with where your financial journey is going, stick to it. But for those who want to take more control and are starting out, these two episodes have been a gold mine. Pattu, as ever, thank you so much. See you on the next episode.
Thank you. Bye bye.